Yo, how you doing, guys? We are back with the $1 Trade Show. I'm Diego. This is Nick, and we are here to update you with everything that went on prediction markets in the last few days. And I love the Matrix vibes, by the way.
What the music this time? I
Yes,
can
it.
never choose it randomly. So I've got a
No,
list of AI generated music down the side here, and I
no,
just
it's
click on it. And then the last time we had like fucking weird cheap porno vibes,
soft
and this
porn.
time we had this
Yeah,
sort of like dark, sort of kind
yeah,
of
mate.
dark hip hop vibe.
Yeah,
And I was just like,
yeah,
I
no,
can't
it's
get it
good.
consistent.
I mean,
I've got a Halloween one
any
here that I should have
Matrix.
tried on
I mean,
Monday.
besides the last Matrix, the fourth film, any
We
Matrix is
don't
better
talk
than
about the
soft
fourth
porn.
film.
Yeah, no, let's pretend that that never happened.
Apparently, they're rebooting the franchise. The franchise.
Yeah, just maybe
There's
the new
rumors that it's.
Spider-Man.
And
So
I
we're going
think
to
he'll be
have,
in it.
it's
No, a
going to
new
be
Neo. So
a
like
new
there'll be a
Neo.
new
Oh,
Neo.
fuck. I don't know. I think they would go better with a kind of a side story or some stuff like that, just like they are
They
doing with.
already did it. If you were a Matrix nerd like I was, like they'd done all the side stories. There's a thing called the Animatrix, and it's a whole
Oh,
bunch of
Animatrix.
side
Yeah.
cartoons. The first two are amazing because it explains to you how we ended up in the Matrix. Which, if
Uh-huh.
anybody wants to watch a cool bit of anime, I'm not really into anime that much, but like this is really cool,
Yeah.
and the
It was
story's like,
cool.
oh fuck, man,
It was cool,
you
yeah.
could actually
And
see
and,
that
and
happening.
each one of the stories had a different style.
That was it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good. It was really good
Yeah, I
stuff.
remember. I remember back in the day we were spending nights downloading that shit to be able to watch that.
Because it was hard to find as well.
It
Hard
is.
to
It
find.
is.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move to prediction markets, and we have a shit ton of
Whee!
content to cover today.
Shit ton.
As we
Something big happened
know,
this week, didn't it?
as we
Something big
know,
happened this week.
Mandani won on New York. First comment here, Mandani, dude. I don't care what's your name, but everybody knows where after an M, it's a B that should be used, not a D, or it's
What?
A
What are
and
you
D or
talking
M.
about?
It's basic grammar, dude. Everybody knows that. That's the only thing that bothers me with the election is this name that he's using an M instead of an N. That's wrong. That's wrong.
I
Everything else
I have
here.
let man. What do you think it should be, man? Dammy, Danny.
It should be Man Bunny or Man Dunny, not
I have
Man Bunny.
literally no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway,
You
and the
fucking
other
lunatic.
thing is Mr. Silva here. I don't know how to say his name, but it's Silva. Dude, I mean, if you want
Yeah.
to prove a point, you don't wear this kind of hat. You just put a red shirt with a Che Guevara face. You don't. I mean, you don't wear this stuff if you're
You
not in the army. I mean,
don't
actually in the
don't
army.
understand
That's
any
it.
of what that is. I have literally no idea what's going on with that.
See, I
That's
I told you, I told you before the show that I had a lot of comments, random comments today. That was my
yeah,
point.
you
And
did. You didn't
okay,
warn me. We
I
don't
did.
script this, guys. It just happens, and we give each other signals about how grumpy or smart
Yeah.
ass we're feeling that day, and it's just like, yo, this is how it's going to roll today.
Because I was going through the content, and dude, I saw so many wrong stuff. We are going to cover a lot of things here that also it's just common sense that is people are doing wrong. We are going to talk about it later. But yeah, I mean, no big surprises here about the result of the elections. See, we saw this since when? June, since half of June. Something changed
Yeah,
here. I don't know exactly. So
nothing
you guys,
changed.
if you are in the US, you can help me to understand why everything moved here. But dude, since there was this cross here in June, late June, it was Mandani since then dominating. And yeah,
I wonder, was that the moment? Because so I think Kumo was previously a Democrat, right? I think he was the Democratic person, right? And then I think they might have selected Mandami as the Democratic person because he ended up being an independent. Kumo was an
okay,
independent in the end.
okay,
So
so
that's why Mandami's blue and Kumo's that weird yellowy mustard color.
okay,
He got mustard on his face.
yeah, dude, he looks like a guy that we worked with.
He does. I don't.
He does.
I thought that as well. I didn't want to say it, and I was like, we won't say names, but we what we're doing
No,
is
I
look
won't say
just
name,
like
but
that.
he really looks like a guy we work with.
Yeah, he
Anyway,
does. I wonder
so
if those people have had that joke because they're in New York. They're all in New York, right? Like, I wonder if they had that. Like, the only difference is the hairline.
yes, I'm gonna ask
Yeah.
people who are there. Okay, so now we are going to bring you back a couple of days in the past because that was the interesting thing here is okay, Polymarket and Cauchy both they once again they calculated the results correctly before. So with
Yeah. I- Are we getting
go
into? Have
go
we got the
ahead, go
Cowsey
ahead,
post in
go
there?
ahead.
Have we got the Cowsey post in there? What they did running right into it when they basically looked up their database to look at the split between voters in different places because they KYC, right? So they
Oh
had this
fuck
sort of
yeah.
granular data, and then they're like, "Oh no, it's much closer than it actually is," and it wasn't. It was a bias in their own data set.
Oh fuck, I didn't
Right,
put this in
but
the
I
yeah.
don't know what, like, given that they should have data analysts over there, I don't know
Uh-huh.
how they made that call unless they were just trying to get clicks. But, like,
Uh-huh.
there was a skew in their data set and made it look like it was, like, almost neck and neck between Como and Mandami,
Fuck.
and that's it. They haven't deleted the post, which I think is fair enough. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong, just leave it there, don't pretend that you got it right.
Uh-huh.
But,
Uh-huh. No, I
I don't
didn't.
know if I shared that with you, but Karen, I
No,
think it
I,
was
I don't
Karen this morning that was talking about it and stuff like that.
I don't think so. I don't have this here, but I mean, yeah, we can discuss that anyway. So a couple of days before the election, that was interesting, and we are going to talk about Moses here. So he said, "I'm seeing a wave of people dismissing the odds of Zohan Mandani and prediction markets crime rigged or manipulated. This narrative is a fundamental misunderstanding on how predictive markets operate." And there was this conversation was around Twitter, and this was from Said. So Said mentioned here, are you ready to take a risk in 16 times or 120% on just one bet? I'm ready. What is the rate? Of course, New York City mayoral election. Polymarket currently offers the following odds: Zohan 94 and Andrew Cuomo 6%. My choice
You
is
just
to
called
take
him Zohan.
what?
You
Zohan,
called him
yeah.
Zohan.
Zohan. It's Silva and Zohan, bro. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is in my language. So anyway, so my choice is to make a small risk and bet and under Cuomo. Based on this survey, I can be seeing that many people vote for Cuomo. That it seems the chances of this happening are very slim, but I'm willing to take a chance to do this. Did we win one 1,500% of 4% after all? It's up to you to decide. And there was a lot of people talking about, I mean, what would be the best move here? Get 4% on Zohan or get 1,500% back in Cuomo. And why? Because people were believing that the markets were manipulated here. So
Yeah,
following here,
but
what Moses said.
this is why in the run up to it, I kept posting on our account saying like this is a very important moment because prediction markets have become not mainstream but far more in the public sphere of thinking, and if these are manipulated in any way and it comes out the elections are far different from what was in the prediction markets are fucked from the truth engine narrative, right? It's like completely over at that point. But they were bang on. They were bang on. They were perfect.
Yeah, so just a comment here, by the way. When we covered this on Monday, there was like 350 hundred million dollars here. So it increased almost $100 million in like two
Zoom
days.
in because we can't really
Oh,
see.
sorry. Yeah, and we are talking only about poly market here. I don't have
429 million
yes, which almost a half
men,
billion dollars total
half a
volume
billion dollars on one city's mayoral elections.
elections. Yes,
Like, this
and
is not
this
a global election. This is not for choosing the global leader of
yeah
our paradise. It is
yes.
one city.
And this is
It is the
only
capitalist city
and
of the
and,
world.
and this is only on poly market, by the way. I mean, we have to add
Yeah, yeah.
Cauchy to this as
I
well.
don't
So I
even.
mean, easily $1 billion, I would guess, or
And
something
if
really
anybody
close to
doesn't know,
that.
the reason we're always biased towards poly market is because you
we,
need
we were able,
KYC. I think
yeah.
American citizens use Cauchy, which is again pointing back to how prediction markets haven't really left the US yet. So
Yes, yes, and so nowadays I'm able to create an account on Kalshi, but once again, as you said, I need to do know your customer process. I'm not uploading IDs or some stuff like that, just use here. Anyway, as Moses were saying here, and I wonder if he heard this from God. The only scenario here, the only-
But also, he just tweeted, he's like, bro, just quoted me 10 times.
so the only scenario where Andrew Cuomo had a realistic chance was a head-to-head race against Mandani. The presence of Curtis Silva drains off crucial votes, as he will get 10 to 20% votes that were essential for Cuomo to win. Cuomo simply cannot win a three-way race where the opposition voting split between him and Silva. The stronger proof against that rigging claim is where the smart money is flowing. When you analyze the largest holder in the market, you see names that are OG political bettors. You can only see those names on the side of Mandani. These individuals have long-term records of winning six and seven figures across dozens of elections on this platform. Yes, just follow the smart money. This is what he's saying here. These are professional traders, not activists. This is really important. So their motivation is simply earning money. They would never put millions on a 95% if they believed the true probability was lower. The only reason they keep holding at 95% is they believe the odds are even higher, in fact. Most of them believe this race is already over. To argue the market is rigged is to argue that the most successful political traders in the world have suddenly decided to become unprofitable activists, which is not rational. That
Not
makes
going to happen.
zero financial sense. The odds are high for Mandani because the risk for any other outcome is nearly non-existent. And yeah, as we saw, Mandani won. Right. Oh, let's move to this one. I will need to close my screen and share that stuff again. This was just really interesting. So basically, prediction market trader shared his trade. They bought 550K at Mandani, and I mean suddenly the price exploded to 90%. It's just fun. Let me share this one with you guys here.
I had a technical difficulty on the sharing
I
the
always
post that we're
have.
covering today, and I posted Moses 5 times instead of the 5 other Arcade members. So I just did a dump. I'm just shouting you guys out. There's a dump. Fuck it, man.
So let's check this out. It's a short video.
You're gonna get this output. Do you think CNN is gonna be telling you this?
Yeah,
Do you think Fox
CNN
News is gonna be telling you this?
Where were you when we bought 50K shares of Mamdani? Look at that.
Where were you when Mamdani bought
live on stream, bro? 1 minute ago.
50K shares of Mamdani 50 plus? Phantom bought it
moving the
right now.
odds. Phantom is moving the odds
This
as
is gonna
we
pump.
speak. And
This
and
is how we do it.
on the New York Times results, Mamdani's
88!
88!
Where are you gonna get this output?
It's just so cool. I mean, to see how they get excited about the results. I mean,
We couldn't see it, but we could hear it. I couldn't see it broadcast.
oh, you couldn't see that.
But you
Fuck.
could hear how excited they were.
Yeah,
This is
doesn't-
why it's like the future. Like it is like going to the casino in many ways. Like it's very social, right? It's
It
like,
is. It is
stuff
very
is very
social. Yeah. And I think that I mean, yeah. No, let's move forward. Yeah, we have a lot to cover here. Oh, it was interesting here. So we saw Bill Ackman. He was pro Cuomo, and he was talking. He was one of the people who was saying, "Hey, go outside and vote for Cuomo," and this kind of stuff. We saw that. And let's see. I don't think Polymarket is rigged. People just see the odds against their candidates, so they stay home and don't vote. Polymarket is not a prediction engine; it's a determination machine. And then Polymarket, based on this, said, "Hey, Bill, this New York Mirror race drew the highest voter turnout since '69. So voter
Polymarket
turnout,
basically said, "Bitch,
Go.
please."
yeah, shut the
He's like,
fuck up.
"Bitch, please."
Shut the fuck up, please." And the voter turnout, it means the amount of people who vote. And once again, we have common sense shit. Everybody knows that you don't put voting on a weekday because people are working. The day to vote is Sunday because
No,
you go to church, you get
no,
enlightenment
that's
from
not how it
God.
works in the rest of the. It
It
might work
is,
where you is,
bro.
but
It is. You
over
go to church.
here,
So let me tell you, go to church, you get enlightenment from God, so you
goes to
know who
church.
you should vote for, and then you go vote. This is why everyone should be voting on a Sunday and not in the middle of the week. What are you going
We
to
should
do?
be
You're going
going to
to
God and asking him, which one of these bastards should we vote for? Neither of them have our interests at heart. What one, God? What one?
Yeah, and by the way, guys, Nick and I we were talking about this. I don't care if you're a communist, if you're a capitalist, what is you
Socialist,
have. I mean,
cyclist,
doesn't
doesn't matter.
matter. Yeah, my point of view, it doesn't matter. They are politics. They are going to try and take advantage of us in any way they can, no matter what side they are. They will wear different clothes and have different way of speaking, but in the end, their goal is just to have power over us and to focus as much as they can.
We are very
So
cynical people. We like decentralization, and that means
yeah,
gutting
so
the government, but not in the way
um,
that either side of the political divide talks about gutting the government.
yeah, I just think it's I don't even think that it's fun when I see people discussing politics online or any other way because it just seems stupid to me. I mean, if you like it, if it makes you happy, go ahead, yeah. But I don't see people getting happier with that stuff. They keep fighting with their families, their friends. They lose families, they lose their friends, and they don't get a better life. In the end, just do whatever is good for you and your family. Try to have a happy life and just forget any of these idealism that's going to get you fucked. That's my
And
point,
the only
but
people that win
might
in
be wrong.
politics are the politicians and the
Yes,
people who pay the politicians a lot of money,
that's
not
it.
the people that vote. Not the people that vote. And that's the
That's
system.
it.
Not necessarily a critique of the people. It's just the way the system is baked and created, and that's why we need to change it.
Yeah. I mean, and
Was I said the
I'm just
problem cannot
happier thinking this
the,
way. So
the
I just
problem
saw your
solved.
I just saw your comment by the way, Nick, earlier today. You were saying, yeah, I mean, being happier is better than being rich because and that's it. So I don't get happier discussing idealism or politics. So I don't discuss that shit. I just don't care for that shit anymore. I just live my life and I'm happier this way. I don't know why. So let's see. Okay, just wanted to highlight this one. Okay, it was kind of old, but the guy was just highlighting how Cauchy and Polymarket has different resolution about the same market. Yeah. So he was saying here, Polymarket whale just dropped 50K under Cuomo to win the 2025. So payout would be almost $500,000 around. And then the guy said, could be a hedge while he simultaneously sells the same contract on Cauchy for a total cost of less than $1. So Mangolassi said, maybe points to note is resolution dates for both markets differ. So they are talking about the same events, but with different resolution dates. Cauchy market resolves when winner is sworn while Poly market resolves based on election results which is totally different and it takes some time.
Does that mean that they hold on to the cash for an extra 2 months before they?
It
Holy
could be.
No, that can't be right.
I mean, this is what he's saying, and he can prove
Can
it.
somebody who knows more than me and him being Diego, like chime in somewhere and tell us if that's true?
See, this is the rules from Cauchy here. So if a representative of the Democratic Party is sworn, and being sworn is when like there's official ceremony and the guy is named.
January
Okay,
1st, right? Or January 3rd or something like that.
May pursuant to the General Message on November. Then the market, but see, they have a date here. They use the word sworn, but they have a date, November 4th. So I'm not sure. It could be because sworn is not the election results.
He doesn't.
He's not sworn.
They sworn in when they take office. He takes office at the beginning of January.
Take office. Yeah, so they kind of accept the results of the election. It's a formality, but it's different from the results of the election. Because so when it happened here, I mentioned this a few weeks ago when we were able to vote for president. So the guy won. So we got the results of election, but between the end of election and he being sworn as president, he died. So
Oh wow!
who took place was the other guy, the vice president. So
Right.
that's the
Okay.
difference. That's the
All
difference.
right.
But
I don't
and,
remember
and
that story. I don't remember you telling us something, but
yeah,
that's
when I
yeah,
talk
because
about the
yeah.
Brazilian president shit, yeah,
So okay, like what I'm more interested in is when they pay out. Right? Are they paying out? They've got a date there, so they must be
they
paying
got
out
a
on the
date.
4th,
They got
right?
a
Because if
date.
that went to
So
a legal arbitration, it would be
yeah,
like it would be there's a date, it's a 4th. Everybody looked at the date, not the sworn in because they don't match. So the date supersedes sworn in because sworn in's not it's not a time frame.
yes, exactly. But they did have put a time frame there. It's interesting. So if you know better this, I didn't open, to be honest, I didn't open Kalshi to check that, but it was interesting, and this highlights something that we've been talking about here, how the rules should be more clear, because everything comes down to the resolution comes out to the rules. So I mean, you can criticize that kind of stuff because there is debate, there is room for debate. And when you're writing rules, think about when you have to write a contract, you know, between people, you don't think of the part that's going to be right. If everything goes right, you don't have to worry. You will always
Yeah.
think what could go wrong in the terms of how you wrote that stuff. This is how, I mean, people should really pay attention to the rules, especially people from Kalshi, Polymarket, Myriad, Limitless. I mean, all the prediction markets out there.
Yeah.
Let's move to this one. This one is kind of interesting. So after the election, we already got a lot of new markets. So election is over. So more Mandani markets with this scene margin of victory. Because okay, we got the total result, but we have the margin of it. They have to finish the counting of the votes. 6 to 8, 6 to 9, let's say, and then different levels of the margin of victory and vote share. So, and a lot of it. Rest of the board turned into meme land. Person of the year, Google search, Joe Rogan, even arrested before 2026. So it's interesting. This is from Kalshi, but you can see that on Polymarket as well. So, is Mandani going to freeze New York rents? Is he going to open like public grocery stores? This kind of stuff. There is already a lot of probably it is related to his promises during the campaign. But yeah.
Yeah, it will be. So do you know do you know who Kalshinomics is?
Kalshinomics? What do you mean?
It's our friend who's reinventing himself from a brainwashed assassin to a prediction market maverick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he became
Aaron.
okay. Makes sense. Aaron.
Who said he would jump on the show one day? So we just need
Yeah.
to sort that out actually, and be
So
great to have him on, get him
shout out
chatting
to
about what they're building.
shout out to
'Cause
Aaron
we're
and
agnostic.
Kalshinomics.
We
Pretty
don't
cool.
care.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah,
care
I
what
mean,
side you're on. It's all good.
I like prediction markets. That's it. But the Kalshinomics is pretty good. You get a lot of data there. And
Yeah.
what we've been seeing. Okay, Aaron, this one here, nice guy.
Yeah.
So what we've been seeing here is that the data matters more than narrative. This is the thing. So we need those tools like Kalshinomics and Polymarket Analytics by Primo Data as well. Yeah, just wanted to highlight this one. The guy won $500,000 in different markets related to elections. This just yeah.
What's he bidding? He's betting so. Yeah, no small amounts there.
No small amounts,
There's no like
yeah.
money down the back of the sofa sort of
Yeah.
cash there. Well, it depends who's sofa, right?
It comes to what Moses said in the beginning, you know. So if you're tracking players who are being betting hard on politics and get a good track records, I mean, you have something that makes you take a better guess. Okay, and yeah, of course, if you're playing around on prediction markets, don't forget to check the comment section. It's just so fun sometimes. So Will Curtis Silva drop out, and I don't know, I don't know how was the chances here, but trading for Fred said this should be 50-50. Either he drops out or he doesn't. I know it's just yeah. This is the type of analysis I'm here for. Yeah, I like this kind of stupid comment. It's just fun. It's just fun. Oh fuck! Who did this? We just lost. Who?
What?
The market start.
We
I
can't
don't
have
know
a
why.
show without Twitter. What the fuck?
Fuck.
Yeah, I do
I
go
don't
on
know.
Twitter. because
It
our
was.
people
I don't recall which one was this, but it was something from Polymarket. Anyway. Okay, yeah, just another common sense thing, guys. The number of I know it's not exactly about prediction markets, but it's something that will be good for you. The number one rule of investing is never trust a man who wears bracelets. This rule has never failed me.
Who is this? Who's he talking about? Who did it?
You're going to
That
see.
looks like Johnny Depp or something.
You
Like,
are
that's
going.
like,
That's it. This is why. Remember Johnny Depp when he was in trial that he was broke?
yeah.
You
He's
don't
also
follow.
like,
Yeah, that's it. You don't follow financial advice for a guy with bracelets. I don't have bracelets. You don't wear a watch.
"Here's
'Cause
that. I don't even have a watch. I have nothing.
that's it. Even better. I would hear you better than me, for sure. Kidding but serious. Exceptions. Fitness trackers with the watch. Single small bedded bracelet made by one of his children, but no deep down inside he means still wants to be a bracelet man. So you are playing with fire here. That's it. And it was so fun. Oh, Paul. Remember? And I even comment on this. Remember, Ropo was saying that Terra Luna was no risk. I remember some people even made some memes, some short videos, no risk at all with Terra Luna.
So the reason he's not big anymore is because of what he did in the last cycle, everybody. He's like still big, right? But no, he's
He
not
is,
really
he is.
like front of the narrative anymore, right? And
Yeah.
he was like the man. Everybody wanted to copy what they were doing. They thought they were great, and then he just called some utter bullshit.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. Anyway, I don't see Shane Copeland with bracelets or even
You're
the
not.
guy. Oh, what's the name of the guy from Kashi? Fuck.
Tarek?
Forgot his name, bro. Tarek, that's it. I don't see
I
Tarek.
don't know his full name.
Yeah, I don't see in the girl, the Brazilian girl that I forgot her name, but anyway, the blonde girl from Brazil. They used to study at Mitch. So let's move to this limitless standard, a new paradigm for on-chain token launches. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Just can't. I think, yeah. I don't know. I never passed this phase here.
It's like, nah, man. Okay, I'm going to take your. I'm just going to presume that you know more than me at this point.
Yeah,
man.
I heard this before. But yeah, never passed this phase. Yeah.
It's not in my direct experience that this is the situation.
That's it. So let's see what he has to say here. The limitless standard, a new paradigm for on-chain token launches. Introduction. In recent years, most token launches have followed a structure that incentivizes short-term extraction. The following sects listing data reveals that Binance token launches have a negative median full diluted valuation change 14 days after being listed, and that most tokens typically peak directly after their launch. What he say, and we saw this. I don't recall who did that.
Many
report.
years ago, there was a study in the last run.
Yes,
There was a study, and it showed who was it? Masari.
Masari,
They basically
exactly.
aggregated all the aggravated me because I never sold. Aggregated all the sort of big airdrops, and the people who sold instantly, basically like dumped on it, were highly profitable compared to everybody else. So this is like a consistent thing that we see. It's just because of the token mechanics, right? Like we're still
Why?
learning what token mechanics should be like. I don't think MD's solved it yet.
Yeah. Why do you think my handle is take profits? When you get free money, you get free money. That's it. I mean, it's not money when it's still sitting as a number on your
I should
wallet.
change
That's not
my
money.
handle to round trip. Because this motherfucker's never made a penny. He's never made a penny.
Fuck no. Yeah, I mean, I've not been farming airdrops, but I did some good stuff in the past. Anyway, for the launch of Limitless token took a fundamentally different approach based on the following key principles. No manipulation vector, no major market maker received any loan or option granting control over a significant portion of the token supply. No tokens for sex listing. Not a single token was allocated for exchange listing fees, eliminating short-term sell pressure from potentially extractive actors. Fully on-chain transparency. All transactions occurred fully on-chain, being visible for analysis and verification in real time, algorithmic liquidity management. An a double M wallet operated based on a concentrated liquidity formula balancing orders dynamically according to market pressure. It's a market making wallet. So Sniper defensibility. A fully on-chain launch comes with the problem of snipers. Trading bots that accumulate a large percentage of supply at launch can evaporate available liquidity by dumping as price trends higher. The limitless standard was designed to mitigate the impact of these participants with damage control post factum. So limitless
Quick
stealth.
interruption. Shout out to
Sure.
our Rumble guy. Our Rumble guy he is here. I actually think we might have had 2 Rumble people, but like it
Holy
changed and I never got a
shit.
chance to see if it was YouTube or Rumble. But like, you know, hi Rumble people, keep coming back.
Yeah,
And Diego, you
bring more of you, dude. It's 100% increase from the last time, which is great.
It was.
I can even
We love those gains. We love percentage
this
gains.
is now we just need to create a flywheel and sell this to VCs because we have 100% increase. If we add a flywheel, what else do we need?
It just never ends at that
Never
point.
ends. That's it. So I didn't see flywheel here, so I'm skeptical about this system because I didn't see the word flywheel here. By the way, but yeah,
Should we give context? We give context in the flywheel.
Yes,
You see this in all
please.
these pitches. You talk to any VCs or startup people, they're always talking about flywheels. We think it's hilarious and we laugh
Yes.
at it
Yes.
all. So yeah, I mean, either you should fully trust this or you should trust this like I did with a bracelet.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, I think probably the guys with bracelets inside of the bracelets they have the word flywheel embedded there, you know. So limitless stealth launch on Aerodrome on October 22nd, 2025, with no centralized exchange listing or major market makers engagement, an unprecedented move. Conventional wisdom at the time suggested that DEX like Aerodrome don't provide enough volume, depth and demand for major token launches, and that tokens launched in this way would fizzle out and die due to limited demand and liquidity. Yeah, that indeed this was a bold move, you know, doing everything differently from everybody else. So, despite initial criticisms, Limitless has outperformed its counterparts. For example, tokens like Turtle, which launched on Binance Alpha on the same day. Our hope is that this can set a new precedent for fair token launch that will lead to a Cambrian explosion. Oh, this is cool. Cambrian explosion.
Cambrian explosion.
Cambrian explosion. I mean,
It's been watching Wall Street too.
Yeah, that could be used on a lot of pitches. So basically, a Cambrian explosion is when life started in the world. At least this is what science say. I mean, there was just a small cell or a small, maybe not even a cell. It was just a small thing, and then there was this Cambrian explosion, and everything started to multiply, and then we saw these organisms, and the organisms evolved in whatever we are today. And then a Cambrian explosion of community first value aligned networks. Please reroute to Ranger Global VDM for more information. So the only thing that I think in the long time, I mean, it's interesting. It talks about the launch. I would be, I don't know if it's going to talk about the tokenomics itself, the use of the token, because I think I've been talking about it. I think tokens should be like equity, you know, and not kind of loyalty points
Though,
for
right? Because
programs.
you can. I mean, what we really believe is it should be yield generating, but you can't really do equity because then it starts to look like a fucking security.
I understand.
And
I understand. Yeah, yeah. When I say,
yield
let me
generating, but
rephrase that.
not
Yes.
equity. Like,
Yeah.
but then again, it probably still looks like a security if it's yield generating. But this is it.
Yes.
It's like pretty much all tokens in the world right now, excluding like L1 tokens, they don't have much use, right? Like, and I'm not saying all of them, but pretty much all of them are just pump and dump things. And whether the pump and dump happens immediately or on a longer window, it's still a pump and dump.
Yeah, they are an exit. They are an exit for investors.
They're exit. They're exit for
I mean,
guys.
that's the use.
Liquidity for the VCs and
Yeah.
and early.
That's not told utility. You know, It's
I,
just like DAOs. What they
remember
tell you.
talking to
What? Yeah, go ahead, please.
I remember talking to somebody, and I was like, "What do you make of this?" And they come from TradFi, did big things in TradFi, and I was like, "The VCs are just basically taking tokens and dumping." And he goes, "Like, yeah, they're acting like hedge funds." And I was like, "Yeah, actually, it is. There's no VCs in crypto anymore. It's just hedge funds." It's like we take your token, we'll give you some money for your token, and then we'll dump it as soon as it comes on the market. Not all VCs,
Not
obviously,
all. Yeah, not all.
VCs,
Yeah.
but there's
But
a
it-
lot of that going on, and it's difficult
Yeah.
to stand by that shit.
But it's a playbook that we've been seeing for a
Exactly.
while. So the limitless standard. During the first minute after liquidity was added to limitless launch, pool, sniper bots executed aggressive buy orders. Nick, it's just I don't know. I would skip this. I mean, it seems interesting.
Yeah,
I
you
would
don't need to go
skip.
through the whole thing,
Yeah,
but it's a good
I
one to
will.
read. It's like,
It's a good one. So I suggest you if you are interested in what they. I mean, it's interesting how they did it. It was a bold move to launch it in a different
yeah,
way.
totally.
But he will describe everything that happened here at the launch. I think we have more important thing to cover. But so in conclusion, without the limited standard on-chain market making strategy being implemented successfully, a conservative estimate of Fuduru valuation of limitless token would have been almost $40 million, which is a lot of money. Instead, after mitigating the fatal scenario, the market making wallet was able to provide liquidity for sell orders placed by some airdrop and Kaido participants as they excited the network. And the price is currently stable above 300. Holy fuck. Almost 10 times more than they were expecting. Yeah, so it seems that it was a really successful move. Yeah, I suggest you go over this from Ranger Global if you want to know better about it. But of course, it's pretty interesting.
These guys are like the dark horse in the game. Like they've been doing a really good job, slowly building and grinding away. I think it's really great what they're doing.
Yeah, and also myriad markets. The top four and the five now with opinion from BNB, but myriad markets is one of the five top prediction markets out there. So looking forward to launching the liquidity portal we have been working on for myriad markets. This should increase open interest and TVL while allowing users to finally predict with more size, which is the pain of most prediction markets. It's liquidity. So, I mean, if you have shallow liquidity, you cannot predict with size. It has been our biggest hurdle, but one we should grow out as soon enough. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
I
been developing.
reckon as soon as they solve this, they'll start to get a lot noisier.
I think
Because
so.
you can only be so noisy and get so much return on it if you don't have really deep markets, right? So it'll be interesting.
Only now is
I like Farouk. He seems vibes.
Yeah.
Did I DM him? I can't remember. Did I DM? Is he in our DMs?
If
Can't
you didn't
remember.
DM,
I don't think it did. I should
Mhm.
DM and be like, "Do you want to come on, have a chat?"
Let me just check something, bro, because he always has part of. Is Farouk? Yeah, from Rogue Radio. I just wanted to check here because sometimes he's on camera. This
There
one,
he is.
no, yeah,
The
I
one with
think
the
we can.
glasses.
Yes, I think we can trust him. He doesn't look like a guy who wear bracelets.
I can't see his hands.
Oh, see, no bracelets.
Perfect.
No bracelets.
No, that's only
Fuck.
Oh, I
Okay.
guess that's his left hand. So that picture was also the person's left hand. But we need to see the other hand. Where's his other hand? Why is he not
Please,
showing his
yes,
other hand?
I don't.
Here's a prediction market. How many people will show their hands in a video?
No bracelets.
I mean,
Yeah.
stupid, but it's not any more stupid than words.
Fuck.
How many times
okay.
they blink?
Okay, 50% chances I can trust him. One hand, no
Yeah.
bracelets.
Yeah.
Okay, this is cool. We've been talking about discussing how Polymarket makes money. And we've been saying, no, Polymarket does not make money yet. Polymarket is just spending money. But we know Polymarket US will coming in the timeline that we are inventing in our mind here. It seems that we will going to see Polymarket US. After a while, we are going to see a token launch. But when Polymarket US comes alive, it will have a 0.01% taker fees. And they just updated taker fee rate. So when you correct me if I'm wrong. So the contract print ticker, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, but it's when you open a position, you pay 0.01%. That's the ticker fee.
I thought a taker fee was when you exit the market. But let
So
me
the
check.
following terms apply to all the market. So trading
There's
fees.
so much terminology that we cannot
So
figure
the
out
following
what it
terms
all is.
apply to all markets on the exchange. Trading fees are charged based on aggressive orders that are immediately matched. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So orders there, but no orders that are matched.
Apply to traders who place market orders that execute immediately. Yeah, so you're paying to enter the market. So there's a maker fee and a taker fee.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you were
they
right.
they
Sorry
they will have the
about
taker
that.
fee. Doesn't seem that they have maker fees here. And then Carr was just highlighting that's 100% cheaper than the green competitor. Of course, he's mentioning Cauchy here.
The green
So
competitor.
Polymarket is going
Doesn't
to.
want to add to their algorithmic batter.
Yeah. So
Not
it's
mention them.
what he's saying that Cauchy charges users 1% fee, and Polymarket will share 0.01% fee. Yeah, is there time aiming to the end of November? That's it. Yeah, I mean it's actually cheap, a lot cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap. And you got to think, yeah, I mean, you don't have fees on traditional betting markets, so that's a thing. Like, but
Free for
yeah,
your
I, think,
use.
I, think I don't see that as an expensive fee at all. I
No,
think
yeah,
like you pay a lot more buying fucking useless JPEGs
that's it.
that won't make you money, right? Like you need to put it
Never made.
in context of the rest of the game that's being played out there.
By the way, never made money with. Oh fuck, just yeah, never made money buying JPEGs anyway. So
No, I've got a whole bunch of them that are stored on the Bitcoin blockchain worth nothing.
fuck yeah. But no, the one, and this is not an advice. The one that I got that was cool. It gives me access to an event, a yearly event, a big one, so I don't have to buy tickets.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
was a
yeah,
big
yeah.
one. Yeah,
They're
but
good. Again, utility,
Yeah.
utility.
utility. Yeah, it's
What
not
the fuck are we doing
speculation.
if it doesn't have utility?
Yeah. So we don't have John Wang today, but we have Dash. We always cover Dash as well.
Dash is on a come up.
Yes, who's doing a
Dash
great
is
job.
coming for us.
Yes. So there is $193 million in Polymarket traders wallets. I mean, this is not open interest. It's not open positions.
Yeah.
It's just money laying on their wallets. So largely Polymarket proxy wallets, just waiting for the new opportunities on the platform. So $200 million just waiting for the next market. That's dry powder ready to make various markets deeper, tighter, and more accurate. Liquidity keeps growing, spreads keep tightening. Being able to put on size without moving a market should get easier. This is the important of liquidity. You can open bigger or larger positions without moving price a lot. This is liquidity.
Yeah.
Polymarket accuracy should only get better. That's it. We've been talking. What can make any prediction market more accurate? The amount of users, the variety of users, the liquidity, the volume that we have in market. At least these four topics are, for me, the most important to get accurate data. And I hope that we are going to see these research evaluating the exactly numbers that will make a market accurate or not based on these variables. Variables of these variables. Dustin Gauker. Okay, we saw this. Let me see. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that he's not a. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he's a criticism of prediction markets.
Well, he's a
He
journalist, I think, right? So
yeah,
I
let's
think he
see.
should. I think it's good to have stuff like this because I DM'd him. I was like, "You'll come on the show and talk to us," because I think you have to hear the other. He's not fully against prediction markets.
No, he's not. I mean, he tries.
He's just in the nuance of it all.
I think he tries to highlight bullshit when he sees some.
Exactly.
Which
And then
is pretty
people get pissed off that he does that. And in fact, it's very good for a community to highlight bullshit because it mitigates fraud and people getting rugged. So I think it's good to have a variety of opinions, and anybody it's like, you're just a fucking dick because you don't like prediction markets. Like you're a dick for not having an open mind.
That's not. I don't see that the case is not that he doesn't like prediction markets. The thing is, he highlights things that most of people who are pro prediction markets, they don't want to talk about it. They just ignore that. And that's
Exactly.
the
That's
fact.
the key thing.
That's
And
the
I think
fact.
that's important because
Yes.
that's how you move shit forward by
Yes.
saying, look at this, we should fix this. Like, that's how you make
Yes.
things better.
Yes. So, and then he highlights here. So, Kaush spent almost $200,000 on lobbying via their head of corporate development, Sarah Lane, per OpenSecrets.org. What he's highlighting here, and he's been highlighting this fact. It's how we although we have the reasons to show why prediction markets are totally different than sports booking and traditional betting companies. He highlights how in some sort of way the playbook seems to be the same from the side of the companies. It's a different
Oh, it
product,
absolutely is.
but the companies they act like the same. That's what he's been
Yeah,
highlighting here.
and we've talked about this before. Like Kalshi took a very different approach because they're not crypto native, right? So they went fight the regulators, whereas Polymarket went for a sort of a multi-structured company which couldn't actually be dragged into court in any particular way. Well, it could be, but it would take a lot of effort.
Mhm.
But I think if we scroll down, there's a funny
so.
comment in this thread. I think maybe it's not there. That's not enough money to buy politicians and judges. They need to up those numbers. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That's not enough, guys. That's why it's not that you need to
Yeah.
bigger. Up only. That's what the
Yeah.
politicians want to hear. Up only, please, sir.
$200,000 doesn't seem a lot.
It's not a lot. I mean, that's
to buy
pocket change.
politicians, judges, lawyers, and everything in between. Okay, I will need my friend ChatGPT for this one here. Mama, think about to defend my PhD in prediction markets. So toward Black Skulls for prediction markets. Of course, I mean I found this really interesting, but of
I didn't
course
do
I
enough
didn't.
research on this one.
I
Before
didn't know.
do a bit.
Let me just Black Skulls for prediction markets. So I thought it would be interesting, but I opened the document here, and of course I had
You're like, it's not interesting. It's really boring maths.
It's boring math. Yeah, it's basically boring math.
But it impacts our lives, so we should
Exactly. So this is the
pay
article.
attention.
So basically, and I'm going to read what ChatGPT explained to me here. It's going to be brief. So this paper aims for prediction markets what the Black Scholes model did for the options market. So in options,
There we go.
Black Scholes provide a standard formula, a common language for pricing, quoting, and hedging volatility risk. Prediction markets, however, still lack that kind of unifying framework. The author proposed a new mathematical model, logged jump diffusion. Doesn't matter. It's a mathematical model that treats events probabilities as dynamic tradable variables. In plain terms, the model describes how the market's collective belief about an event should evolve over time, including both smooth changes, diffusion, and sudden shocks, jumps from news. This framework exposes three key belief risks factors: belief volatility, how quickly market probabilities move; jump intensity, how often major updates occur; and cross-event dependence, how related markets move together. So, by defining and standardizing these risks, the paper shows how we could build derivatives on beliefs. So, basically, it's a standard that we will allow to build derivatives on top of prediction markets, allowing market makers to hedge exposure and tighten spreads, just like volatility products do in options. The paper also includes a market maker handbook adapting tools for traditional finance, but applied to belief space instead of price space. Finally, through simulations and real market data, the proposed model outperforms simpler approaches in forecasting short-term probability variance. In other words, it provides both better predictions and a practical foundation for an institutional-grade prediction market ecosystem. Wow.
Mhm.
I feel even smarter after reading this.
Because yeah, no, well, you just feel you're just smarter for bringing it up. Like there's people who are just a smart dig.
It's a paper, I mean, it's
This
not
is
a
journal
post.
shit.
It's a
Where was it
yes.
published? Where is it published?
No, actually, I think it's from I don't know. I think it's from Delos, and it's from their stuff. It's internal.
Alright.
I think.
No. That paper, that's a journal down there at the bottom. The
I don't,
Arvix is that
I
one.
don't know. Is that
Um, yeah, that's
arvix.org?
Arvix is a journal.
Cornell University.
Cornell
Okay.
Uni. There you go.
Yeah. That's it.
Cornell.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, of
So
course.
basically,
That
people are trying to figure out how to make these markets more efficient from a computational point of view, not just from liquidity, not just from more participants, but actually, like, how do we just make the maths better?
yes, and then it comes back to something that we've been talking about here. So we are so early, but what we are going to see is the same thing that we saw in DeFi. People are going to bring tools from traditional markets and implement them on prediction markets because and now I mean it makes more sense to talk about prediction markets as a new asset class based on what you can build on top of that.
Yeah, this is what the incumbent of betting don't understand is betting offers absolutely nothing for anybody else except from the betting companies themselves and
Bank
the
company.
punters. Whereas we can create new financial assets, we can create new data which helps inform the world around us. There's just lots of different, and there's things that we just don't even understand yet. That people are probably sitting in their bedroom going, "Oh, that would be dope," and trying to build.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So Hasib, once again, love you,
he's
Hasib.
back.
Yeah, I
He's
saw him.
back.
I saw him
Okay.
twice, but I didn't have courage to talk to him because I don't know. I like
When?
him so much.
When did you see
Both
him?
both times at permissionless in Salt Lake City and New York last year and this year. I
You're
don't
a
know.
bitch. You should have said hello.
He was just talking to people. I didn't want to interrupt because I don't know.
I do
So I was
that
talking to
all the
people.
time.
Yeah,
I
I know.
interrupted Manib from Stacks. I was just like rolled up on him. Hey, how you doing, man? I'm
Yeah,
Nick.
I don't
Look
know.
at my face.
Second time, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that he was talking to a girl. I don't know. I wouldn't
Okay,
like to be
so what you
bothered
didn't
if it
want?
was. Yeah, no.
You're just
Yeah.
presuming that it was more than just a business conversation, which is
I don't know. I didn't presume anything. I mean, I wouldn't like to be bothered if I were talking to a girl. I mean, anyway.
all right.
So
That's nonsense.
yeah, yeah, that's nonsense. I know, but it's just I just enjoy whatever he has to say, and he doesn't say as much bullshit as I do. So yeah, seasonality in prediction markets. Poly market blue has had more value than Cauchy green on almost every day except Sundays and Mondays. Because of, you guessed it, sports, biggest games are on Sundays and Mondays. Once again, they come to the point that Nick highlighted. Prediction markets are a US thing right now. Right now, it is a US thing. Hence this pattern. Most of Cauchy's volume is sports, over 80%, coming through their Robinhood integration we've started earlier this year. Recently, Polymarket has been picking up more sports volume, but merely looking at weekly volume numbers market share hides the more obvious pattern. Always look at your data. This is what we've been talking about here. I mean, data is more important than narrative.
Mm.
Not just sports, but and the comments are interesting. But NFL specifically interesting, given that they offer a number of different sports, including college football, which is Friday and Saturday. So NFL is kicking in the US. You provide a way for people to bet on football, especially without a VPN, and they will come in droves. That's it. That's it. So just wanted to highlight here. Do we have more? Do you think the Cauchy is going to get knock on the door from regulators? Huh? Already getting knocks. Seven state gaming
Yeah, they've
commissions
been
and some
fighting him
Native
in
American
court.
tribes have filed lawsuits. This is the thing that we mentioned on Monday about the problems that they're facing in Nevada. By the way. Okay, let's move forward. And this one is from Evie, and it just highlights how variable, I mean, how different the markets can be. So let's talk about divorce markets. There are currently 13 of them on
oh,
poly market.
oh, it's so bleak. It's so bleak.
But it's interesting. I mean, people like to talk about this kind of gossip. There are
I
TV
know.
shows, I mean, magazines, this kind of shit. Most of them have no price at 98 to 99 cents. And what she says here, this is why I highlighted here. Uh, it comes to the bonding thing that the prediction market trader highlighted last week that we covered on Monday. I mean, she's saying that it's like 4 to 5% return. I mean, most likely it will happen. So I would take four of those divorce markets with the best price and trade a no. Jay-Z and Beyonce, Justin and Haley. What? Justin is not with Selena Gomez anymore? What the
I don't
fuck,
fucking
bro?
know.
Yeah, it's
I
Selena
can't.
Gomez.
I can't even manage my own life well enough to watch what other people are doing.
I got it. So Ryan Blake, Lana Del Rey. So basically, the chances of divorcing happening here at around 95%. Yes, you're technically paying a lot for no, but the yes is probably overpriced by dopamine addicts praying for a payout that is very unlikely. You're only making 5 to 6 cents by buying no. It's a 2 month wait, and 5 cents divided by 95 is a green return if you analyze it. It's basically 5 to 6% return in 2 months. It's better than
So I reckon
almost
in these
everything.
markets you'll see a lot of emotional betting, which is like so the count. If you're a smart counterparty, you can win. Like
Hmm.
if you just trade it like it's an actual market where there's returns, whereas other people will be in there hating or loving, and they'll just be like they're definitely getting divorced, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean. I feel
Uh-huh.
like they're
Yeah.
not going to be like Bitcoin's price
No.
market. They're not you're
Yeah.
not
No.
going to get the same characters in there.
Yes.
But you will get some
I,
clever people like Evie. It's Evie, right? Evie. Yeah, not Eve. Evie.
Evie, yeah, Ginger Girl, 0x Ginger Girl. So I mean, it's interesting. It's pretty interesting, and it's basically the same approach that prediction market trader shared
Hmm.
for different stuff. Because I think for divorces, it's easier to, I mean, than not happen, at least in a short term. Anyway, but my only point here, and we discussed it, is to highlight we are talking about 5 to 6% return. That seems to be kind of a almost guarantee. But guys,
Yeah.
there's no guarantees. The difference, so if you buy bonds, if you buy treasuries, you get 4, 5, or maybe 6%. So here in Brazil, you get 15%. But dude, your main capital, your capital is not at risk. When you do this here, it's 4, 5% return in 2 months because your capital is at risk. You need to
Mhm.
understand that, okay, it's most likely it's not going to happen, but if that happens, and if the market goes the other side, you lose your capital. So
Yes.
I mean, you need to understand the risk, and
This
that's
is the
something that
nature
we've
of
been.
markets. You love
Yes,
risk. Yes, you
but
love
this.
talking about risk.
No, I love to talk to people about, I mean, that how they forget risk. They only see, I never that this is I never see this kind of post here. I should be the one maybe talking this, but people are going to call me a bear. But that's the thing. People only, and we only see people highlighting how much money they can make. Every
Yeah,
time
because
that they
that's
talk about losses, they talk about the losses from someone else. They never talk,
the
okay, I open this position, this is my possible outcome if that goes well, but if that goes wrong, this is how I lose. They never saw the bad side.
well, no, that's not true because you do get guys on Polymarket doing $100,000 to $10,000 threads, right? But I mean the thing is it's people are just playing. You're not going to lose like unless you're like a crazy degenerate gambler. Like you're not going to lose loads of money on that market.
No, yeah, and this is
Um,
why we're telling people here. I mean, open $1 positions, do your stuff, but understand what's you're putting at risk. I don't know, but it is what it is. Maybe you have
be
a lot of money
careful
and you
is
can afford.
basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Nobody's interested. No post in the whole world has ever went viral that says be careful.
Yes, that's true.
Right.
That's true. People
Nobody's
don't.
there's
Yeah.
never been a post in the whole like remember when we weren't in media when we had to break down the most popular articles because we were trying to figure out what had happened with traffic.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was a leading indicator to the death of the market and the terror collapses. But we were looking at it. I was just like, the money articles always win. How you make
Yes.
money, free
Yes.
money, free because this is essentially if you were to classify this is a free money article, right?
Yeah.
Make money for basically nothing here, right? And they will always outperform everything else, which slants everybody's inputs, right? Because they're all thinking that they win. But I've not seen the data update on how many people lose on Polymarket, but realistically, only 15% or something like that make money.
Around that. Yeah.
Um, and everybody else, the rest of them take the money off them. So lose the money to that 15%. I'd like to see an update on that. Actually, that'd be
Yeah, we have
interesting to see if it
15% of people making a lot of money because 85%
Yeah.
of people are losing their money to that 15.
and in the general economy, it's 1%.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way, I love studying this shit, and people were just talking how day trading does not exist. You know, day trading was just created so retail can give their money to institutions. That's the only
There's
reason. Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
going to
mean, like
see
I've got
people
friends
talking
that are just
about.
like
Yeah, people are
very
going to.
few people can day trade
Yeah,
and make money consistently.
yes, that's it. And but people are still going to pay a few $100s for courses on how to learn to day trade. And I always remember a friend of us used to work with. The guy was a trader. It was a good one, and he was just saying, "What the fuck? If you know how to make money trading, why the fuck would you teach someone? You can already make money." He had a point. Anyway,
You'll
so
never teach anybody your edge. You'll teach
yes,
them
of
what your
course not.
last edge was because your edge is how you make money. Why would you teach that to
Exactly.
somebody?
If everybody
It's
knows your strategy, you can't apply that
If
anymore.
you use
Is-
common sense, you'll understand that and not copy somebody
Yes.
wholesale. Hence, why you should never do copy trading. Oh, not
Yes.
never, but
Um,
be very aware when you're doing
Mostly
it.
not like. Okay, I'm gonna speed up these things because we still have a lot of good things to cover. And okay, one more from Dash. Prediction markets are lying to you about their statistics. You may think this trend will be about wash trading, airdrop farming, or civil attack, but you will be dead wrong. Drop me a follow because I will cover. Yeah, you should follow. It's a good content. So notional volume is a terrible metric. In this thread, I'm
Yes.
going to talk about what's wrong with it and how it can inflate your beliefs on how successfully a prediction market is doing. TLDR, notional value is easily gameable and does not represent true
Yes.
user activity. What is
Is
notional
this
value?
is this is this about opinion the opinion market one last week, the B&B one? Is this an attack on the
Oh,
B&B one?
remember? Yes, remember that?
Yeah, because he was just
Exactly.
like, "Whoa, look at all that volume," and it's like, "Oh, they've spent 10 cents.
Yeah.
They've just traded 10 cents out a
Multiple
billion times," and
times.
it's like, look at the
And
size of that market.
and you can, oh, exactly, yeah, we talked about this chart here on Monday. So
Mm,
what is notional value? Is defined I've defined a notional value as the number of contracts or shares exchanged. This is widely what I've seen across the rest of the industry too, and I think it's a bad way of doing things. The core example, and basically the notional value was used here to track those markets, and suddenly we saw opinion, a new market on a prediction market on BNB just getting a huge notional value, even though not a lot of open interest. So the core example I'm going to use today is a regular market on Polymarket that closed earlier this year. $152,000 of actual volume, 60 million show on Polymarket front end, 60 million volume, but actually $150,000 traded. Stick around to find out how we get a number 40 times higher. First, oh, sorry guys. Oh. First, how do we turn our raw share number into a dollar value? Well, every conditional token has two possible outcomes. One of those outcomes will resolve to zero, and the one will resolve to $1. The assumption one would make is this essentially prices every share at 50 cents on average. Counting how many shares are transacted in a given trade depends on how many sides of the trade are reported. Let's imagine user A and user B want to take opposite positions. They agree on the odds being 30 to 70. User A puts up his $30, user B puts up his $70. The market gives them both 100 shares. User A shares are priced at 30 cents, so his are worth $30, and user B at 7 cents, worth $70. When the market resolves, then 100 of those shares become worth zero, with the other 100 becomes worth $1, a $1 full. Sorry guys, there's a kid crying here. Let's imagine for each transaction, both sides of the trade are reported. Then we will see 100 share buy and 100 share sell. So 200 shares, 50 cents would give us $100 total value. Great. If only one side of the trade is reported, then we will see 100 shares trade for $100. Why do we care about the above? Well, both sides are reported for every prediction market except Cauchy. Kalshi choose to dump their trade data at the end of the day into a CSV, and you can see they only show one side of the trade. So I quickly recap. If one side of each trade is reported, then each share is worth $1. This is the case with Kalshi. If both sides of the trade are reported, the notional volume in dollars would be the sum of shares divided by 2.
Mm.
This is the case with Polymarket and others. So
So
far,
that's
all
like that's the key point. That's the key
that's
point.
that's the main difference here. Yeah. So far, all of this is fine and makes sense. The volume lines up with notional volume and nothing seems off. However, in polymarket clones, I am able to buy your position without directly minting or burning any conditional tokens. Let's say you want to sell your 100 shares yes at 30 cents, then I'm able to buy this directly of you. This result is 100 share buy and 100 share sell. So our notional volume is again $100, except I have only paid $30 in actual value because in the end the shares are going to worth $1, right? So our assumption of 50 cents shares just broke. Fuck. So you're paying 30 cents for a share, but they are calculating like it was a $1 trade. So
Yeah.
imagine if it was a 10-cent share, it will represent like 10 times higher
Yeah.
volume.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is one way that notional volumes get thrown out of whack in regards to through activity. You might think, well, Dash, that drift doesn't sound too bad. Let's revisit our earlier example and also look at how bad it can get. Earlier, I showed you the will Dogecoin reach 50 cents in April market and how it had done 6 million in notional volume, but that this was simply displayed as volume on Polymarket's front end. Let me show you the values I get. Okay, this is the oh fuck 7 million. Okay, my Polymarket breakdown dashboard logic reports notional volume using the methodology above. For example, the unsatisfactory logic. It shows will Doge reach 50 cents in April? It's having done 152 in actual volume compared to 6 million in notional volume. So he brings back the example that he shared in the
Yeah.
beginning. And now he's going to break down why that's wrong. First, he got the example, then he broke down how the notional volume is calculated. Now he's saying, and he's going to
This
show
is how it
why
impacts the
it's
example.
wrong. Yes, exactly. So now, just how bad can this get? Well, here's a transaction in which $1,000. Uh, is it 1,000? Yeah, I always get
Yeah.
messed with these
No.
numbers here because
Point
we
is that a point?
use commas.
Depends where you come from,
Yeah, we use
doesn't
commas
it?
in
I think.
Brazil.
Yeah. Some use commas. Some I've seen dots and I don't. I think we use
No, it
commas.
seems it's $1 results in $1,000 in notional volume.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that
That's
works.
$1,000 more. Yeah, so it's $1 resulting in $1,000 volume. So this is one of the reasons why on my dashboard you can find Polymarket's notional volume in almost 10 billions more than regular. I will spare dragging on this thread by talking about how one no share can be converted to a yes share in every other candidate. It's a neg risk market, essentially printing shares out of thin air which can be transacted with. That can just potentially mess it up further. So, after all this, why do I still show notional volume on my dashboards? Well, it stands Cauchy only share their notional volumes with us. This means it's impossible to compare prediction markets volumes in any way other than this broken one. Okay, fuck.
So it's not apples for apples.
No, that's
That
the
is, but
okay.
that's I would presume that that's deliberate.
Yeah, because they can
I'm going to presume
show a
that because
bigger volume.
they
They
could
can
have,
show.
they could have publicly allowed that data to be public, but they've not. So I presume that that's deliberate because it serves them for their data to be that way.
It thinks so for who doesn't understand this dynamic, it seems that they are doing a huger volume than they
Exactly.
actually are.
Exactly.
It
To the
doesn't.
outside, it looks like they're doing like for like, but
Yeah,
they're not.
yeah.
It's
So
like
for
putting
now
Mike
I'm
Tyson in a ring with a lightweight. And just like,
so for now I'm going to leave it as it is, but in the thread attached to the dashboard as context for what notional volume is. I hope the big platforms will share more of their data and be more picky with how they display their data, or it's not misinterpreted. Please tell me your opinions on the situation and what you guys believe I should do in the comments. Also, follow me and check my profile. Yes, he has a great dashboard. He's been putting out some pretty cool contents, database, and so my opinion here is I think I totally agree with Nick. I don't think you should change that, because if that's the only way you can compare them is by notional volume because of how Cauchy shows their data. I think that's the only way that we can have some
It's the only way you can
similarities.
do it. But you just
Yeah,
need to put the caveat on the dashboard that everybody
exactly.
understands that this isn't
Maybe
necessarily like for like, or because the thing is, so he uses Dune Analytics, right, and it's SQL, so he can
he's
do
using
calculations
Dune.
in there. So he could just build something that takes into account this augmentation of the data and
Mhm.
normalize it. So he could normalize the data because he knows what's wrong with it, so he
Mhm.
can transform it into something that is like for like. And Dash, if you're watching, like maybe that's an alternative, because then you would have the only like for like dashboard on the planet for prediction
Yeah.
markets.
I would say also maybe exclude Cauchy and do a separate carry with only the on-chain markets based on the actual volume that they have.
I don't
That's
know. You
it.
can't ignore Cauchy's.
Yeah, I mean, just
You
add,
could have
because
another
he has
dashboard with just on
he has a
chain, like
dashboard. He has a dashboard full of stuff. Maybe add one more information there, and just a disclaimer. Okay, so this is notional volume. This is in kind of TLDR of you said here, so people will understand that that's not the real volume. And then another one excluding caution. Say, okay, this is the real volume for the on chain that we can get.
yeah.
It's more work for you, but I think that will be even more
This is what he
complete.
does. This is his thing.
Yeah,
And we're happy that he's doing this thing.
yeah, for
I
sure.
encourage him to do more of it, because I think he's like just kind of starting out, and I think he could be like one of the biggest accounts out there, one of the most trusted ones, because he's
Yes,
quite balanced in his view. It
that's
is
true.
all data led. He's
It
not like
is.
saying, "Oh, they're bastards for doing that." He's just explaining what they're doing.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Day 345, a clear example of mispriced bet on Poly market. The pump fund airdrop for December 31st market is currently trading at 50%. But most people overlook the Nothing Ever Happens airdrop edition market, which also trades at 50%. Okay, I found that this one interesting just because it's, I mean, if you're looking for opportunities, okay, this could be a good one. So the second market resolves to know the Nothing Ever Happens airdrop if the following airdrops happen before December 31st. Base, MetaMask, OpenSea, and Pump.fun. So it's resolved to know if any of these airdrops happen. This creates two interesting plays. If you think Pump.fun will airdrops, by no on Nothing Ever Happens is smarter. Even if Pump.fun doesn't, but one of the others does, you will still win. And the hedge strategy, buy no on both Pump.fun and Nothing Ever Happens. If none of the airdrops happen, you break even. If any one of them happens, you earn 50% return with no downside risk. I found this was
Very simple.
it
Yeah,
is
very
simple.
simple. Very,
Yeah.
because some of the other trading strategies are a bit more complex. But like if he's just saying try this and see how it works
Yes.
for you.
Because it's
And also the hedge strategy, which not a lot of people talk about. That's when it starts to get more sophisticated. Like he's clearly more sophisticated than me.
basically you are trading the same event in two different markets. One market is a single market of that event, and then the other one it's a single market with multiple outcomes. So it's basically a parlay.
Yeah, but you have to do multiple transactions.
You have to do, yes. Okay, this is about mentioned markets. In mentioned markets, we know it's big. A lot of people are making money with them. And okay, according to Phosphine, Donald Trump, the easiest 2x in November, decided to try a new niche on Poly market, entered the market. What will Trump say in November? Placed limited orders on several phrases. Bitcoin, Bernie, Thanksgiving. Dudes, what if, imagine, we mentioned how Brian Armstrong from Coinbase during the earnings interview just said, hey, I'm checking the Poly market here. Let me write
That would
this.
be another one, yeah. If it does it,
Imagine,
check
Donald.
check
Yes,
poly
imagine
market.
Donald Trump saying that, yeah, let me see Polymarket here and Bitcoin, Bernie, Thanksgiving. It would be really
Whatever
fun.
one his children stand to make the most money from, they would use.
Probably, yeah.
that's
So,
how it works. That's how they run it over there.
so he analyzed past speeches, rally topics, and holidays calendars. No result yet, but the strategy is clear and the potential is there. If it works, I'll share more details about each bet and how to choose phrases. And then he shares the market here. I mean, it's just interesting because so for Donald Trump, you probably can have access to the latest speech. You can have transcripts, and you can compare the words that there are in the markets there and see, okay, how often do he speak those words? What are the chances? And you could probably have
Well,
then,
because
if you're good on
because
math,
the way language
you can
models
get.
work, they basically, when they're writing that text, they're predicting what the next word is, right? So like you could
Hmm.
give 1,000 of his like most recent transcripts, right?
Hmm.
And then get what the probability of the next word might be. But then you would need to hone it in to most recent, because that would contain context around things that are going on right now.
Hmm.
So you could get like a broader one where he like says "and" or "beautiful," right? That would be the bigger model that you would use. But and you could bet on like, will he say China or billions, right? Because he uses those words all the time. But if he's doing shorter term stuff, you would need to look over the past month behavior to see if he's going to say things that are contextually correct for the next for what's going on right now geopolitically or internally in the US.
Hmm.
It's just that
So,
it'd be like a double like you'd have a broader model and then a narrower model for more what's going on right now. But yeah, no, it's could do that.
it's an interesting one. And okay, once again, we've been covering these kinds of traders you should keep an eye on. This guy turned $200 into $10,000 in 6 months. Trader Goodrama pulled it off nearly 5,000% return of investment simply by trading on Polymarket. Link to his profile. All of the options he chose to make prediction mainly on mentioned markets, just like we said it, yeah, right now. And thanks to this, in just 6 months, he achieved such an incredible result. Just look at his profit and loss. Okay, for all, yeah. And thanks to the now he also bets on geopolitics, and his bets largely coincide with mine. I think Yotrama can repeat the success of traders who made a fortune from a small deposit, such as 25 USDC, Holy Mosses, or Greek Gambler. Yeah, we've been covering these guys here, these users here. The guy still has a bright future. So basically, the guy put $200 and now he's sitting on $10,000, mostly on mentioned markets, but now on geopolitics. So yeah, you want to
Yeah,
check this out?
Moses's account's just going to explode, I think, because I didn't realize he's not like a big account. And then on Twitter, but like I can
Yeah,
see him just like getting all the momentum, and then next year being like the 50,000, 100,000 sort of
yeah.
mark.
I just saw. I think yesterday he posted like he had less than 500 followers like 2 weeks ago, and now he just
Yeah,
crossed
that
like
was it.
5,000
So yeah,
followers. Yeah.
he's gonna smash it.
And one more from Autist.eat. New win record on Polymarket Sports. Was he any version World Champ 2025? Profited a taller 1 million from Vikings victory. $1 million. Fuck. Okay. Biggest wins all time. So from
Wow.
okay, he turned $300,000 into a $1 million. Cool, man.
And what we need to remember that these guys actually know what they're doing, and that's why they have 300 grand to throw at these.
Yeah, but remember last time he had 500 half $1 million. So he's a
Yeah, but
big
he's
better
not
on the
going to bet.
sport.
He's not going to bet every like that. This person probably knows risk management, right? Like they're not going to just
Yeah.
take whatever they had the last time and bet it again,
No,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's something else going on there. Don't just copy trade that, dude.
Yeah, yeah. He came from
Look,
betting
there
to
you go.
predicting.
There's Kyle.
Yeah,
Like he came from betting to predicting. That
yeah.
that's
That makes total sense. That makes
that's what
total
we're going to
sense.
see. We're going to see lots of that because some of those big traders are locked out of traditional betting
Traditional
platforms,
betting.
and
Yeah.
they want the upside. They're the dangerous counterparty.
Yep. Okay, finally we got to the article that I promised you guys that we will cover. This from Creed DeFi. I think we still have time, right, Nick? 10 more minutes?
Yeah, I mean, how many articles you want to cover here? Because I see quite a few.
Nah, I just
Three.
gonna these two, maybe two, and I gonna save the rest for later.
So both Creed.
No, let's move. Let's do Creed and then this Bennett guy. We can
Creed.
even start
Wait a
with
minute.
this Bennett
What's this
guy.
angle? What's the Bennett? What's the handle of Bennett?
Oh, I think it's better to cover the Bennett guy because we just mentioned the guy that came from sports. Remember?
Yeah. Okay. Let's
Guy
run it.
came from sports book. So this is Greek Gambler PM. So Bennett, how I got Bennett on a major sports book in my country. He tells a story.
There we go.
It's an interesting story, this one. So story time from a few years ago that shows the potential of prediction markets over sports books. Few years back, we had mayoral elections in my country. I live in a fairly small city, and I was surprised to see that a sports book was offering bets on who would win. The first round happened, but I didn't place any bets because I found out too late. Then the second round started, and the odds were absolutely insane. The winner of the first round was our previous mayor with 42% of the votes. The second guy had 22%, and the rest went to smaller candidates. The sportsbook offered odds for the former mayor at 1.1 and the second guy at 4.5 to 5, clearly based on these plausibilities on the first round results. But I knew all the other candidates basically hated the previous mayor and will likely back the other guy. You did some basic math. If you did some basic math, it was pretty much 50-50 race. I didn't want to rely on speculation, so I started visiting campaign spots and talking to people. I even run a small pool myself. I found this part really interesting. I read this one basically before when you sent to me. So after that research, I was certain the odds were way off. So I max bet on the challenger. My family and friends did the same after I told them, oh fuck. I hope you guys did it wrong.
That's scary. That
Yeah.
we must
fuck.
love you.
Yeah. Eventually, the sport book locked the market. And when it reopened, the odds flipped from showing a 90% chance for the previous mayor to around 15% chance. Since cash out was available, I decided to cash out, and so did my family and friends. The outcome still wasn't certain, but by then the odds were at least fair. A few days later, I got banned from the sports books. No clear reason, just a vague "you broke the terms of service." They never explained what I supposed did wrong. You won, guy. You won, bro. That's
You
what you
won,
did
and they
wrong. I
didn't
mean,
like it.
they
That's
didn't
it.
like. I mean, sports
I
books are not
swear I need to
made
share that video.
for what?
There's a video when the guy goes into the bookshop, the bookies to go collect his money, which he paid it down in cash, right? And then went in to go collect his money. They phoned the fucking police on him. He was like, there was
You
nothing wrong. The
mentioned.
guy just
I
paid in
remember.
cash.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
paid
yeah.
like
You
7
mentioned.
grand or something like that. And they're just like,
You
nah, phone
mentioned
the
that.
police. He's harassing us. With like he's like raising his voice. The guy was really quiet. Like he had his own phone on and stuff like that. You could hear him talking. He wasn't shouting at anybody.
Fuck.
But yeah,
Yeah.
this is what they do.
Yeah,
This
they
is
never
why it's
explain
rigged.
why it's supposed wrong. You won, bro. Sports books and casinos and that shit are made for them to win, not you.
Yeah.
So the difference with prediction markets like Polymarket is that instead of banning people like me, oh okay, he has a badge because he mentioned Polymarket twice. Yeah, he has a badge. Is that instead of banning people like me, they actually reward them. They want people to find and act on mispriced information. I was lucky they even let me withdraw my money. That's true. That will never be an issue on Polymarket. Here's my account. Keep an eye on the Greek elections. Trust me, there will be a lot of alpha. So that's the story of how I got banned from Sportsbook a few years ago, which is an interesting story and it illustrates something that Nick has been mentioning here a lot.
Because I find it very frustrating. Again, it's just another abuse of power from a regulated body. It's shocking. It shouldn't happen, but it's because they're the one they eat off of your losses. They don't. Polymarket doesn't eat off your losses. Kalshi doesn't eat off your losses.
That's it. This is from Creed, Prediction Markets, the Market Efficiency Paradox. The idea of prediction markets was to create an ultimate truth-telling machine, an environment where all information is aggregated to produce only accurate odds. Yet, the very same logic that should make them efficient is what holds them back. They fail to do both highly informative and difficult to sell. If perfect efficiency makes private information useless, then who pays to find the truth? This contradiction is dilemma. Let me get this again. I don't think I got this. So, yet, okay. Prediction markets should be the truth-telling machines, and where the information is aggregated. So produce only accurate odds. Okay, but the same logic that should make them efficient is that holds them back. Okay, this logic makes them problematic. They fail to be highly informative and difficult to sell. How's that?
Okay, let's read on. He'll tell us.
Yeah. If perfect
He's
efficiency
got read the
makes
TLDR. Let's hear his points.
perfectly efficient markets cannot exist. Information must have value for markets to function. Prediction markets balance between truth extraction and economic participation. The paradox explains the reasons behind the frequent inaccuracy and illiquidity of these markets. Founders must include incentive engineering, liquidity design, and regulatory clarity as ideal standpoints to market design. I'm curious. I'm not getting, but I'm curious. The paradox. Market efficiency theory is an economic theory, and it's a theory. Yeah, exactly. Okay, it's a theory. It doesn't exist in real life. It's a theory. It's an economic theory stating that all financial markets must fully and instantly reflect all available information on the price of assets. According to this theory, since price always accounts for all known information, it is impossible for any trader to consistently achieve returns higher than the overall market average, except through luck or trading on higher risk. Prediction markets should, in theory, aggregate all available information into a single number, the market price, that correctly mirror the collective wisdom of crowds. However, the people who have the best information often do not participate. I don't know where do you get this information from, because we've been seeing.
Yeah, I mean this doesn't seem like to valid this.
Yes,
We've
doesn't
not
seem
seen that happening over the past few months. Look at the New York election, the New York
election.
mayor elections.
With
Look at the Nobel Peace Prize. Like the
exactly
people with the best, most up to front. Look at there's just a
ChatGPT
bunch of
browser.
markets that are
The
like
yeah, ChatGPT
there's a
browser.
bunch of
Remember?
yeah, ChatGPT browser.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of things with the best. They might not have it early on. Like but there's
Yeah,
loads of this
yeah,
going
yeah.
on. I don't think this is
That's
necessarily valid.
and that's the thing. I don't like when people just stating facts here. By the way, guys, I state a lot of facts here, but most of times it's just for fun. It's just parody, you know. But if you're writing some stuff here and stating these facts here, I want to see examples, you know. That's the
Yeah.
thing. I
Well,
mean,
he's got some
show
examples
me the
for.
markets.
He's got a
Why?
PM.
Because
He's got stuff,
participation,
case studies down below. So let's see what it's.
yeah.
But I
Because
don't agree with those statements so far.
no, me neither. Yeah. So participation comes with a price. It's always rather costly risk and sometimes illegal. In the season of Up Only, the one who goes to jail is Kobe himself. Yeah, because okay, new Kaushi market. When will the next episode of Up Only be released? Up Only is the show run by Kobe, and Kobe said his. Do any lawyers know if it's illegal for me to trade this market? Because of course he knows when the show is going to run.
Yeah.
Distinction defines it, but dude, this is one example that it does not could be taken as the general state of prediction markets. But anyway,
Yeah.
distinction defines the market efficiency paradox, a modern restatement of the Grossman-Sealing theorem that if all information were freely and perfectly reflected in prices, no one would pay to produce or discover
Yes.
it. Information has to pay.
Because there's no money to be made. If it's always
Yeah.
100, but nothing is 100% accurate.
No, yes. No.
This is based on if you think the world is perfect, but the world isn't
Yeah.
not perfect.
So this efficient markets theory that works really well on paper, but remember, paper accepts
Yeah.
anything.
Economists don't actually understand how the fucking economy works. They just
Yeah.
write papers about it.
They don't know. They are trying to figure out, and when they start to figure out, everything changes. Information has to pay. In game theory, rational agents act only when incentives justify their costs. If a trader spends resources acquiring inclusive information, they must accept profit or revealing it through trades. A point of total efficiency where no profit opportunity exists destroys the motivation to learn. Markets survive in a small band of useful inefficiency where informed players can earn returns and uniformed players provide liquidity. This, therefore, is the fragile equilibrium where prediction markets must maintain. A well-designed prediction market, those using the logarithmic market scaling rule, makes honest participation a dominant strategy. By linking the cost of trading to the strength of the trader's belief, LMSR rewards participants who reveal accurate private information. These traders profit most when their stated probabilities align with the actual outcomes, which aligns personal incentives with truthful reporting. LMSR defines how a market maker updates the prices and probabilities of outcomes based on trades and ensures continuous liquidity without needing a counterparty for every trade. But if these markets grow thin, the balance breaks. Yeah, but this is for any market. Without
Yeah,
liquidity, even rational.
I think what he's getting at, and it's because we've got an LSMR AMM on under the hood
Mhm.
of the review market. And yeah, at times, if there's not enough liquidity in the market and when everybody decides it goes that direction, it does completely fuck it up. But even in poly market, you do need people to come in and rebalance the market. That's why
Mhm.
they offer rewards for rebalancing the market. And we have to do the same on testnet at the moment.
Yeah.
We have to rebalance markets to get too skewed because nobody can buy the direction they want.
Yeah. So without liquidity, even rational traders withdraw and efficiency collapses back into noise. Yeah, I'm starting to get what he means. I mean, everything comes to the volume of participants, the variety of participants, the liquidity, and the volume traded. Comes back to
Step,
what yeah.
step.
Uh, why the paradox matters. Prediction markets only work when smart traders have a reason to share what they know. Think of this way, smart traders are like detectives. If everyone would get a heads up without doing the dirty jobs, what use is the digging for the truth? If you want to know more about this, watch the movie Wall Street with how's the name of the guy? Uh,
Charlie Sheen. Don't ever
Charlie
forget
Sheen.
that fucking
Yes,
name ever. That man's a walking
Charlie
god.
Sheen.
He hasn't
Therefore,
died, and he has put everything in his body that could ever be put inside a body that would kill you. And he survived. And apparently, he drove his car off a cliff twice, and
holy
that's
fuck.
normal. Yeah.
Therefore, the perfect illustration of a market that works is one with just the right amount of imperfection in order to reward those who bring real information. Other inefficiencies like liquidity, regulatory framework is not an inefficiency in my opinion. And trust stand as a critical point because regulatory is outside the market; it has nothing to do with the market,
No, but it
and
impacts the market.
it could
I.e.,
impact the market.
you can't do
It could
you
impact
technically shouldn't do insider trading, but it happens on
participation.
traditional markets.
Yeah, and trust stand as
It
a
affects
critical point.
participation exactly.
Yeah, the better perfection is smooth operation in prediction markets. Truly, information flows where people feel safe to trade. Ah, maybe. Case studies. Kaushver. In an effective market, the price of an event should be nearly identical across all platforms. That's true. That's correct. Okay, an open and specialized market on the outcome of the next elected mayor of New York practically portrays the beauty of market inefficiencies across the leading prediction marketplaces. This city pricing gap between two prediction markets reveals possible inefficiencies due to fragmented liquidity, regulatory barriers, user access frictions, and varying fee structures. This supported risk-free profits that should not exist in a fully efficient system and expressed exploitable flaws. And then he was just, yeah, yes, 63 cents on Cauchy, no, 92%. But this is not a big spread. This is not a big spread because this is so if no on Polymarket is 92 means that the yes is 8 cents and yes is 6.3 on Cauchy. So it's a 1.7 cent different here, 1.7%. That's dude
I mean,
that's in
you
between.
can make money in 1.7% if
Yeah,
you're
you
doing whale
you
shit.
you can,
You know,
but nothing is
big money.
100% share. So 1.7% variation, it's totally fine. Details of incident. Event in question. Will Andrew Cuomo win the 2026 New York election mayor? It's 2025, right? Pricing discrepancy. So he was stating price arbitrage strategy. bias on Cauchy and no on poly market. Scalping example from assuming calculations. Okay, he gives an example here that's definitely a win-win on both predictions. And then he shared here where he got this from. So conclusion, the market efficiency paradox expresses that friction isn't a flaw, rather it's the price of truth. Okay, so market efficiency paradox expresses friction. Okay, rather it's yeah, there will be some friction in markets, and this is why markets are not efficient. And an ideal prediction market must create a system where informed belief and liquidity coexist in a stable, self-correcting game. Prediction markets are like bridges, which each pillar supporting the other. Remove any of the pillar incentives, liquidity, trust, or legal clarity, and then Jack and Jill come troubling. Dude, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of get this point, but I mean,
I think it's something that we all understand exists.
it
It's
is
one of those
exists.
things.
It's not perfect.
Because
It's not
we're
perfect.
acting like prediction markets are a new thing. It's a variation on an old thing, traditional markets, stock markets, and stuff like that. And yes, whoever in the stock market does the most research is going to be smarter against people like me, for example, right? Like whoever is inside BlackRock, whoever's inside Binance, at the trading points of Bitcoin understands the move that Bitcoin's going to make before I do. Right, and we all understand that there's like the layer cake, right? Like there's guys at the top, and when they shit, it all comes down on us. And it's just like whether we know if they're going to shit or not, we move out of the road. It's just like that's it's not it's not an unknown thing, you know.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. I mean, there's good information
Not a big
here.
deal.
It's yeah, exactly. I don't think it. So everybody knows it's not perfect. So prediction markets are not perfect. We know there is still insider. We saw that with Lord Miles
There always
market.
is. It's just the prediction
There's
markets
always
make it very
is.
clear that there's an
Yes.
insider, right? Like, and maybe the participants are much quicker to shout out there's insider trading going on, right? Because that shouldn't have happened. Like the Nobel Prize, and it's not insider trading necessarily. It's just somebody has a piece of information.
Yeah,
How
The
do
Nobel
you
it
know
was
that?
not inside, right? We
No, it
saw that
wasn't.
how
Nobel,
it
as far
wasn't.
as we understand, the Nobel Peace
Yeah.
Prize wasn't an insider. It was just somebody very clever watching the image folder for the website, right?
Yes.
Very
That's
clever,
it.
very very clever and thing to do.
Yeah. And yeah, so we understand, and there are risks. There are risks, and there's no such a thing as an efficient market. There are some elements that can make some prediction markets more efficient than others, but an overall and efficient market that does not exist. And of course, I mean, if we were able to unify the liquidity layer of prediction markets and every market will tap in the same liquidity, okay, we will be even more efficient. But I don't see that happening because I mean there are companies behind every prediction market, and they will provide you different environments for you to trade. That's it. That's it, in my opinion. So we still have some. Okay, we got this. Okay, I want to save this for the next one. A momentary comprehensive guide to prediction markets.
We
By
better be in there, dude.
Nigel Echoes.
Nigel Eccles, you're
Nigel,
not in
I
there.
mean, I'm
I
gonna
don't
give
understand
you.
what you.
I'm gonna. It's a
We're gonna
long
have a
one.
problem, Nigel. It's long. We
Since
should be in there at least as a footnote.
yeah, so Nigel, I'm gonna give you some time until Monday so you can add us there, please. That's
Be
it.
nice, motherfucker. Be
Yeah,
nice.
and I want to cover this one here as well. Why crypto cannot build anything long
Anything
term is
long
not
term.
exactly about
That's
prediction
definitely
markets.
let's do that on a Monday. Let's start a Monday with
That's
come
for
on guys, let's
motherfuck.
build some shit that
It
lasts.
should be the first thing that we should cover on Monday. So everybody, stop, slow down. Spend some time with your families, with some friends. Go have a beer. Go spend some time outside. Let's stop the world for a few days so we can cover this first thing on Monday. And let's what else? The behavioral economics of prediction behind prediction marks. One more from cred. So I already have three cool things, long things. I'm really interested on this one here. Yeah, and although it's not
I've got
exactly
quite a lot of
prediction
opinions on
market,
this shit because I've just saw
yes,
so much fucking money
yeah,
get thrown at crypto and absolutely nothing come out of it.
yes, that's it, that's it. So basically that's it. We already have things to talk about on Monday. Some of them seems to be really interesting. And thanks a lot for joining us today. We had what? 120 people are live right now. Thanks a lot, guys, for sticking with us for almost 2 hours. That's okay.
Yeah, I know we
That was
went
long.
at it, and also I think we might be starting the show a bit later because we want to catch you New York people's or East Coast people a bit more like when you're not like eyes are
Yeah,
all like dusty and you're like I'm trying to understand the world right now after my sleep. So I'm thinking maybe half one out my time, but and that would be like 8:30.
yeah.
You
Uh,
and then that means you can kind of get your coffee and listen to our lovely gentle voices
that's
telling
it.
you about
Yeah.
the news of prediction markets today.
And
Get
hopefully I will
fired
not
up.
and hopefully I'm not gonna be sick because a motherfucker is doing some kind of spell against me because every week I'm getting sick, motherfuckers. So
There's a black magic about you.
I
Somebody's
know
trying to kill you with the black magic. If anybody can get some
I
white
will
magic or light
I
magic
will
or whatever
find,
magic it is that
yeah,
counters black magic, that voodoo stuff.
a voodoo stuff. I will find
The voodoo.
a doctor, an Indian doctor here in
Yeah,
the
just go on.
jungle near my
I'll
home.
send you I'll send you
Yeah,
people who can
send me
sort
the
you out
address,
where you are.
Just send
Get
me the
them, get
address.
that, drink all those
Cross the
psychedelic
hip,
brews. Get them to get all the bad juju out of
cross the
you.
river, by the second tree, turn right, and then you find a guy there. Yeah, just bring
Exactly.
some
And he's sitting there
alligator
and he's
shit.
covered in bones of like
Yes. So hopefully,
animals, like
I will
jaguar
be
thing over his top.
100%
He's
next
like, I'll
week.
sort out you.
And I will make sure, guys. I will make sure. Please give me feedback because I will try and make sure to have more common sense wisdom to share with you. We cover grammar, we cover
You,
clothing, we cover how to trust people, a lot of stuff. I mean,
this is a
life is not
lifestyle
only,
show. We're just
yes,
painting it as a prediction market to get a niche
life
for
is not
Fairley.
only
But
about prediction markets. Yes,
this is
yes.
about life. This
Oh,
is
okay. I have one more, by the way. I have one more. If you are not a teenager or if you are not a professional skateboarder, you should not wear Vans. Okay? If you are on your 30s and your 40s and you are not a professional skateboarder, don't wear Vans. That looks ugly. That's it. Was my take for today.
oh,
That's it. Okay,
you
guys. Thanks.
you have such
Any
strong opinions
I
sometimes.
I hope you don't wear stuff from Vans, Nick. I hope you okay. You say for when you were a kid, but I mean you don't have to wear that
I
shit
don't even
anymore.
think I
Okay,
wore them when I was a kid. I was not a skater.
okay. No one should be a skater. I mean, unless you're a Bob Burnquist. I mean, anyway.
All
Okay,
right.
that's it.
And on that note,
That's
see
too
you guys
much.
next
That's
week.
too much. See, I'm getting tired. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us. We will be back on Monday. Have a great weekend, and that's it. Love to you all,
Ciao.
guys. Make sure to subscribe to the $1 Trade at Substack and to